checking paperwork in prison. For those who don't have any idea what that means, or those interested in the subject, today's video is for you. Now, this is a more important topic than a lot of people may think. It could determine a lot and be the ultimate factor in how your stay in prison goes. So I'm gonna get into that today, but before I do, hit that like and subscribe button. Show your boy some love. You're much appreciated. So when you first go to prison, you're going to be classified and sent to best. Depending on the unit and the people in the dorm you go to will even determine if you have to show paperwork at all. And by paperwork, court documents. The court documents show whoever's reading it what you're locked up for, the details about your case, and there's a discovery page that has everything you did, detail by detail, and everything the police did to convict you. Everything. I'm sure a lot of you people have heard about California. And those prisons, paperwork is a must. There's no way around it. You're showing that paperwork or you're getting dealt with. In those parts, it could be life and death. It's not serious like that here in Texas. Some units it is, but in others, they don't care. They don't check it. If you happen to hit a unit that requires paperwork, well, you best show it. And you better not have crazy charges either. If you don't have it, one of two things could happen. They'll give you a set amount of time to get it, usually about 30 days, or someone will get on the phone and they'll have their people go run your name and find out exactly what you're locked up. If everything comes back good for you, then you'll be accepted and you'll start doing your time. But by being accepted, that doesn't mean that you're gonna have a safe stay. All it means is that you're safe at that moment. You're good on your paperwork. You don't have to worry about that. The rest of the stay will go how you make it. Everything is gonna be based on your attitude, the way you carry yourself, if you are respectful, and if you'll fight and get down when it's necessary. So what happens to those who don't have good paperwork? Well, since you asked, let me tell you a story. During my prison sentence that I did, the 10 years, I met a dude, let's say his name's Güero. We usually call white men Güero, but we also call light-skinned Mexicans that same name. And Güero was Mexican. Skinny, tall. When I met him, he was a real joker. By joker, I mean he was always in a good mood, joking around the majority of the time. But he wasn't ever disrespectful about it and was smart enough to know when to get serious. Believe it or not, most people who act like that didn't know when to stop, and that'll get you in trouble. So Güero comes in my dorm I was in. He didn't look timid, didn't look scared, none of that. He puts his stuff in his cell, comes out, and posts up outside his cell by the door. Post up, for those who don't understand that, all it means is he stood outside his door. People do this because it's guaranteed your people, and by people I mean your race, the Mexicans in his case, will come up to you and get all the info they can off of you. That goes back to me telling you they're going to ask your name, if you run with any gangs, charges, where you just came from, etc. I explained a lot of that in one of my previous videos. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. So eventually they walk up to him and they start having a conversation. After a little while, they go their separate ways. I was sitting at a table by myself, drinking a cup of coffee, which is something I used to like to do. Instead of getting me all like hyper and wired up, it actually used to calm me down a little bit. So Güero sees me sitting at the table by myself and he walks toward me, introduces himself. It's not uncommon. You really want to go in there. You want to find your race. Try to get in the door with them ASAP, so you can learn the ropes of the unit and the dorm. You know what to do, what not to do. To drive the message home once again, you stick with your people. That's the way prison is. That's the way it's always gonna be. It's important. It's serious. So me and Whittle start chopping it up, or in other words, talking, getting to know each other. I then tell him how the unit is. I give him the ropes. I let him know what's up. What's cool, what's not cool. Who's the gangs in the dorm? Who's the biggest one in the dorm? All the stuff that a person wants to know so you can know how to navigate. Eventually they call chow. We walk together. By this time we're already swapping stories. I don't really remember exactly how it came up, but he tells me he didn't have any paperwork and they gave him 30 days to get it, which is nothing serious. That's usually what they do because not everybody carries their paperwork with them. You get shipped to so many different units and it's just something you don't want to carry. Some people look at it like that's the most important thing to carry. I guess it's just up to the person. So he got 30 days to get it. Like I said, it's nothing unusual. That it is what it is. So now he got to contact his family, get them to get his paperwork, and have them send it in. You'll know when it arrives because it comes as legal mail. They open it in front of you, give it to you, and they leave. Simple. And by they, I mean one of the mail clerks. So let's fast forward 3 days. Me and Widow have gotten real cool by now. We hang out all the time, go to the rec yard to work out, play cards, dominoes, watch TV, all that. All the things you can do to pass time, we're kicking it together. So in prison, when you find a solid dude in there, that's valuable. Because you can't really trust anyone 9 times out of 10. So if you find that one solid dude, y'all stick together, have each other's back, and stay good. So Whittle tells me his family bullshitted and took long to get his paperwork. So now it's late. Now he has to go talk to the dude that the paperwork ain't here yet. He can explain and try to get more time or get smashed. You don't know what smashed on means? You get beat up, in other words. It just depends if the person who asked you for it is a good dude or one of the messy type. Is he going to understand that stuff happens, or does he just really want to just have people get beat up? It depends. They're kind of like, you got dudes in there kind of like power tripping because they know that they can get things done. So, luck would have it, this dude was messy. He basically told Whittle if he don't get it at mail call that night, he's got to go. Meaning he has to catch up. He won't be able to stay in this dorm. You have to understand that at this time, in this particular dorm, they had just started getting into the habit of checking paperwork. And the rule was there's no excuses. It hadn't always been like that. So a lot of dirty dudes were walking freely until that time. All that being dirty and walking around like everything's sweet, that was done with. So I asked Whittle, what you gonna do? He says we're gonna wait for mail call, even though he knows he's not gonna get it. He's almost sure it won't be here yet. So I asked, you leaving or what? Since that was the only other option. And he looks at me and he says, hell no, bro. Which is when I knew this was my dude. So I tell him, what you mean? He tells me we're just going to have to fight until the paperwork comes. It's like, this was the actual moment I knew that I fucked with this dude. Because he said he was... Because had he said he was checking in or catching out, whatever way you want to say it, I would have had to cut ties with the guy. Only weak people do that. Everybody in prison looks at those kind of people like they're real weak. That follows you your whole sentence. And if you associate yourself with this dude, knowing he's labeled as weak for catching out, they're going to assume you're the same way. You're going to get the same treatment that he does. That's what I said. Find that solid guy and, really kick it with that dude. So later that night at milk hall, Weddle goes and he walks up to the dude. And I'm at the table by myself again. I see them talking. The guy stops, looks at Weddle like he can't believe what he just heard. Turns around, walks away. He goes to his group, and you can see they start talking. A few dudes start to strap up. And that means you throw on your boots, tie them up real tight, and get ready to throw down. You're going to get ready to fight. Now, the dude that's been asking for the paperwork is a dude that I'm fairly cool with. I've done time with him for a little while. We've been in other dorms together. So I walk up to him and I ask him, what's up? Like in a friendly greeting type way. And I tell him, I know what's about to go down, but why? So he runs the situation by me, just tells me what I need to know. And I ask him for a favor. I tell him, Weddle's willing to fight. Like, he's not running from that. He's not going to catch up. And you could do whatever you want, but just don't smash him out the dorm. Like, don't do him dirty and get him gone. Like, if he's willing to stay here and fight, why are you going to get rid of a solid dude? I threw out there how we needed all the people we can get who are solid. Just send 2 people in on them, and then let them have a little more time to get them papers. So this dude looks at me and says, you vouching? Now, this could be very dangerous. You don't want to vouch for anyone unless you know you are damn certain what you are talking about. If things go south, they're not only going to be messed up for his part, they're going to mess up your world too because you vouch for him. I'll be next right after him. In my head, I'm thinking like, damn. But what comes out of my mouth is, yeah, I vouch for him. He's a good dude. So 2 dudes end up getting up, calling him over to a cell. Not his cell, a cell. And they tell him it's nothing personal. Rules are rules. We need to set an example so everyone knows what's up. So you start hearing the squeaking. You start hearing thuds with the fist hitting people like doom, doom. Those are all noises that you hear every time somebody's fighting. You can hear the fist on flesh, the shoes squeaking on the concrete. And it goes on for a little bit. I don't really remember. It always seems like it's a long time, but it's really not. Like, if you're just a regular dude who does a lot of workouts but doesn't do cardio, and you get into a fight, a 30-second to a 1-minute fight seems like a long time. Now, if you're a professional boxer and you could go 12 rounds, however many minutes, then that's different. We're not professional boxers. I mean, some people are, but most ain't. So once they got done, and you finally hear the noise stop, the door opens. And if you looked around that day, you could see damn near everybody looking over there, like trying to be nosy as hell. You will always want to see who got the better end of fights. I don't know. It's like a magnet. It just makes your eyes go over there like a magnet. You can't take them away. But at the same time, you're trying not to look too hard because you don't want to give them up. And guard sees everybody looking, they're going to know something's going on. So I'm looking like everybody else is looking to see how bad Weddle got beat up. I don't want to see the dude like completely smashed on, so I vouched for him. But, I want to see how bad he got it. The first person out the door was Weddle. He looked exactly like he did when he went in. No marks at all. The other two guys don't even walk out after him. Turns out he got the better end of that fight, and basically they didn't want to come out because they were embarrassed. They were literally inside licking their wounds. Weddle walks up to me with a big smile on his face, and he's like, I told you I could get down. I'm not even gonna lie, I was slightly shocked because dudes always say that they can fight, and they usually can't. They just want you to think they can, because making someone have fear over you is half the battle won already. And that's why a lot of dudes try to always talk and scream and yell real loud trying to scare somebody. But a lot of people ain't gonna get with that. Like, you know, you're gonna have to show me. I don't believe all that yapping. I want to see if you can bite. So this dude didn't lie or exaggerate at all. Like I said, he didn't have a mark. So he can fight. 2 against 1. Like, either they're really super trash or this dude can really fight. It made me stop and think, like, if he wasn't lying about something like that, that I could really trust this dude. Like, I could really believe all the other things that he's told me before. And that's what it is. So now I'm feeling even better about vouching for him. Like, I got my chest poked out. Like, I knew what I was talking about. That's what it was. So I think it takes about another week, 2 weeks maybe. I can't remember. There's so many things that go on in there. It's like, to have a pinpoint on dates is almost impossible. But let's just say it was a week or 2. His paperwork finally comes in. Dude was in there for murder. He wasn't in there for any crazy charges. He wasn't out there in the world being stupid. I mean, well, yeah, he was, but he wasn't out there doing stupid shit that could make him look real bad in here. Like, murder, that alone makes people not want to mess with you. Like, they know you're going to get it. You're going to get down. You're going to use that shank. You're going to take somebody's life. You've done it before. You'll do it again. So the dude who had asked for his paperwork to begin with gets it, reads it. He goes back, tells everybody what's up. And I guarantee you, not long after that, they were trying to have him get down with them. But he didn't want to do that. He wanted to stay solo. He wanted to do what I was doing, just me by myself. I'm just going to do the time the best that I can. If somebody wants to get it, we can get it. You're not going to look at me like I'm weak, but you're also not going to have me join you so you can tell me what to do all the time. That's not the type of person I am. Because if I wanted to listen to people, I could have listened to everyone out here and not gone to prison to begin with. Why am I going to come in here and start listening to you tell me what to do, you know? So the guy also tells me, the one who asked for the paperwork, he was like, that's what's up. Like, you vouched for the dude came back clean. Like, that's what's up. Because you already know what could have happened if he wasn't. And I told him, yeah, you know, there's just them rare few times you can talk to somebody and just know that they're legit. That they're not doing any funny stuff. They're not going to let you down. But that's dangerous. Because there's people who can be the best chameleons. They can make you think that, and then they could get you in trouble. Because they're the dirtiest dudes you've ever met. But in this case, I was right, and I didn't end up getting beat up. So, paperwork is a very important thing in prison. Like, that can really determine if you're going to stay alive in most cases. Like, prison's not a game. It's really not. And just because you don't know how prison is ran doesn't give you any excuses to go in there and start messing up. You could say whatever you want about your case. They want to see that paperwork because that paperwork's going to say everything. You could lie. So before you go and you do things, think about that. Like, number one, think like, damn, if I go do this, I'm going to go to prison. Do I really want to go to prison? Do I want to eat soups every night because they don't feed me enough? Do I want to be in there with a whole bunch of men? Never any women? And if there is women, they're guards, and they ain't gonna talk to you unless you got some super extra game. But all that stuff with a woman, that intimate touch, the kisses, the conversations, holding each other, whatever it is you do, all that's gone. All you got is Pamela. That's it. You ain't getting nothing else. I mean, well, you can if you go that route, but then you'll be looked at as a punk and you're in trouble anyways. Nobody's really going to respect you. And don't get me wrong, I ain't got nothing against gay people. I know a couple of gay people. And I know that sounds funny because every time, like, I'm not racist, I know black people. But I got a couple of friends that are gay. And when I first met them, I always told them, look, your lifestyle is your lifestyle. I'm not like that, but I'm not going to tell you how to live your life either. So I've never had nothing against them, ever. But the thing is, in prison, it's a different story. Everything about prison is a whole different world. You don't have to dislike gay people. You don't have to dislike a race. But you also can't mess with them. And that's because of everybody else, what they think. The opinions that are going to be pushed onto you. They're going to think you're gay because you hang out with gay people. Like, that's the way it is. And that's the thing that I disliked about prison a lot, because it's prohibited to hang out with another race. You can't eat with another race. You can't play games with another race. Maybe cards, that's about it. You can't hang out. You can't sit there and watch TV together. Like, you can't do anything with the other race. If you don't go in there already thinking 100% for your people, you give it about a month and you will. Because that's all it is. So, say there's a black dude in there. And he got all the cigarettes. And he's like, hey, man, spark this up. Can't do it. I don't know. Prison's crazy, okay? You don't want to be there. I know when I was doing my 10 years, I was a mess up. I did a lot of bad things. I got into a lot of fights. I did a lot of illegal contraband things. I'm not going to name things because I didn't get caught for a lot of things. So I was doing a lot of stupid crap. I was fighting with the guards. I was always getting written up, always on commissary restriction, visit restriction, couldn't go outside, like all kinds of things. And I remember when I got to the 7-year mark, I thought to myself, like, man, is this how you really want to keep acting? Like, do you really want to be one of those people that goes home and then comes back within the year and just waste your life here? I remember I really thought about that. And I was like, you know what? I want a job that's not illegal. I want friends. I want somebody to love me and I can love them. I want children. I want my own car. I just want to live a normal life. So I never have to be afraid that I'll be locked up tomorrow. Nobody wants to live that way. So for my last 3 years, I made it a point to change my mindset. Now, don't get me wrong. I wasn't turning down fights and stuff like that. You still got to do what you got to do. But I was moving away from handling a whole bunch of contraband. I was moving away from hanging out with dudes in gangs who just wanted to talk about robbing and selling dope when they get out. I moved away from a lot of negative things, and I started going to schooling, church, trying to get right with God again. And I got out of prison after my 10 years. And it's been 10 years that I've been out. That is one of the things that I am most proud of, because you always see people going back. It's rare that somebody stays out. I did 10 and I've been out 10. and I'm still doing what I gotta do. I go to work every day. I don't only sit here and make videos. Would that be cool to do someday? Yeah, that would be cool to do someday, because I've always been interested in doing video production. I've always wanted to make videos like this and entertain people. It's fun. I'm passionate about it. So I've been doing a lot of things I'm supposed to do. A lot of that negativity that used to be in my mind, always scratching in the back of my brain, that's pretty much gone. I don't even have an urge to want to get in trouble anymore. If I'm about to do something, I'm like, man, this could not turn out very well, I don't do it. I hang out with my kids. We go do different things on the weekend. I work outside Monday through Friday. I got the weekends off. It's hard work. So yeah, I would like to make videos full time. I would like to entertain people full time. I would like to make a living off of it. So that way I don't have to work outside my whole life. So that way I can provide for my family and my kids. You know, that would be nice to have something more than what I've always had, because I've never really had much. Never been rich. I don't even think I've ever been wealthy. You know, just the average person making an average amount of money. And because of my love for video production and making videos and wanting to entertain people, I went ahead and I jumped into it. I prayed about it, talked to my family about it, which is why I wear this face covering. Don't really want people to know who I am. But I decided to do it and see where it goes. I asked God to help me out, made me successful. And I'm asking y'all too, because it's up to y'all guys. You know, it doesn't cost y'all anything, but it costs you time. Are you being entertained enough? And I would like y'all's feedback. I would like for y'all to jump in the comments and be like, hey, if you did this or you did this, the videos would be a little better. Or even if you say, nah, you're doing good, I would appreciate that. I'd really love that, because y'all are the reason why I do this. Everything else that may come from it, that's all the way in the back of my mind. So anyways, that's paperwork. They want to see it, they want to analyze it, and then they're going to judge you off of it. So always think about what you're going to do before you do it. Live a better life, change the way you think, and do better in life. Live a life out here, something you could be proud of. Something where when you pass away, people can be like, you know what, he used to be like this, but man, did you see how he lived his life after that? That's what I strive to do every day. I strive to love people, to get better, to always learn something new every day. And I ask that y'all do the same. Just a little compassion and this world would be a different place. But anyways, that's the video. You already know I'm going to ask you to hit that like and subscribe button. I appreciate y'all for showing me some love. Go ahead and get in that comment section. Tell me what you would like to see next. And I'll go in there. I'll get what y'all were requesting. I'll make that video and then I'll shout you out. And to all the people who are my first subscribers from day one, I got some ideas for y'all in the future that y'all really gonna like that. Because I'm always gonna end up giving back to the people who supported me from the beginning, who believed in me. I thank y'all for that. So until next time, you already know this is Crime Center, and stay tuned.